Your fellow artists' gigs are getting cancelled back to back to back all across the continent of Africa, my fellow South Africans. How do you feel about that? Let's get right into it. Without any further ado.
We are raising the issues that we are raising. The brand, it is hurting. We can't lie about it. The backlash, and that's why part of the work that we are doing through DECO is engagement with businesses abroad. South African companies abroad. Minister Lamula has met with them, and we're providing services, support services, and consular
Here's
services
the part you came here for.
those businesses on the continent and outside the
Listen
continent,
closely.
so that where they face a backlash, where they face difficulties, there would be. One of the areas that we would have to look at as well, that has come to my attention as well, it's our artists. Majority of South African artists perform on the continent, and many of them are seeing their gigs being cancelled.
So we're going to discuss that and more, including AKA's comments from 2022 have resurfaced when he was sharing his sentiments about all these immigration issues that we have in South Africa. We'll also have a look at Oscar Mbo's concerns as well when it comes to the crisis of immigration in the country. All that and more. We'll also talk about the artists that we have currently who are touring outside of South Africa, who are touring across Africa, the likes of Brotherkupa and Jaykatana, as per examples such as Maphuma as well, who was also scheduled to perform there in Uganda, but that didn't really happen because of these such situations we're going to be discussing in this live stream as we continue.
So that's another impact of the work, because they benefit quite a lot. They perform on live performance events and everything. So they are receiving a thing. We've not been able to work together. So we'll definitely work together with arts and culture to understand the impact for them to get. But one artist did reach out to me to say all her gigs were cancelled on the continent.
All her gigs were cancelled in the continent. Which artist is she talking about? I can't imagine a layman type of artist getting the attention of such a gigantic minister in the country. This is the Minister of Justice, the South African Justice Minister. Her name is Mmamoloko Kubayi. You feel what I'm saying? So the only person that I can imagine getting such gigs in the continent is the likes of Uncle Waffles, Tyla, you know what I'm saying? I can't imagine any other artist literally getting such bookings throughout the continent of Africa and it affecting them to a degree where they have to get the attention of a minister who's in parliament. You would feel what I'm saying. But obviously we don't know who she's talking about. We're just gonna assume and insinuate. You would feel me?
This is an income lost by a South African. So the brand does get affected, and that's why part of what...
That should be the least of your concerns, ma'am. A single artist's concerns should be the least of your problems right now. If you're looking at the current situation in the country, your highest priority concern is the bare minimum that South Africans are asking for. The majority of South Africans. Fix the immigration crisis. Fix the immigration crisis. But according to her, something that's in her top priorities is an artist complaining about losing gigs in the African continent. Imagine.
What we are doing is to explain that South Africans are not xenophobic.
Oh, so now South Africans are not xenophobic, huh? So that's your sentiment now, huh? Okay, cool. Seems to have changed quite a bit, judging from what these politicians were saying prior to these protests. But yeah, now apparently now South Africans are not xenophobic. Okay, fair.
South Africans are not calling, and we are also saying to South Africans, let's be responsible. And that's why let's deal with the issue of illegal immigrants. And that's why all the others are saying to us, South Africa, we understand what you are dealing with on the basis that these are illegal people, therefore enforce the law. And those that you have within the borders legally, please protect them like you protect South Africans. So that's the message as well that we continue to do. Hence, we are calling for vigilantism to be rejected by our communities, for attacks on foreign nationals, because they...
Fair enough. South Africans are not so impressed about these comments. One South African in particular had a little message to share. She's like, tell that artist of yours, whoever she is, she must not make her problems ours. Her personal problems are not South Africa's problems. Tell that artist of yours, she must not make her personal problems our country's problems. That is what you people are doing. What's happening to her is none of South Africa's problems. So we must not fight for our country because of her gigs. Blood clot is she talking about? Okay, cool. So this is what this lady had to say regarding the comments made by our minister, who seems to be so concerned about another artist losing gigs. Okay. Now, other Africans also shared their 2 cents about this whole situation with a comment that reads that you are not even ashamed of yourself. You still have the guts to post his tweets. Whose tweets exactly? AKA's tweets. I'll show you just now. Same people he was doing this for, they deleted him out of hatred and bitterness. For what are they talking about exactly? They talking about these tweets. AKA tweeted in 2022, RIP to our GOAT. In April of 2022, he tweeted, wanting South Africa to have a secure border doesn't make you xenophobic. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think that wanting South Africa to have its own border is that xenophobic or not? According to our GOAT, rest in peace to a man who really felt like South Africa deserved or has to have a border around it. And according to him, that is not xenophobic. I tend to agree myself. I'm sorry. I share the same sentiment as my GOAT. You would have feel what I'm saying. He also went on to tweet that they will call you names. They will call you crazy. They will label you this and that. Don't let up, South Africa. You are blessed to be a South African. So the GOAT actually stood up for South Africa, saying that wanting to have borders in the continent or in the country of South Africa shouldn't be regarded as xenophobic. You'll feel what I'm saying. Another commenter said, I can't believe I was once a fan when he was still alive. I was still upset about his death. He was deleted by his own people, his own brothers. But after seeing his old tweets, bro, using a deleted man's words to trigger or ignite a flame, God will definitely punish you for disrespecting his legacy. I do not see anything wrong with actually tweeting a dead man's tweet or reposting a dead man's tweet, because this was just him expressing his views about the whole situation. At least AKA was able to do something that a lot of current South African celebrities are struggling to do. And there's reasons why these celebrities do not want to discuss these issues as far as xenophobic attacks are concerned in South Africa, or alleged xenophobic attacks. The likes of Oscar Mbo also had his 2 cents to say about this whole situation. Click the like button while you're at it. Stop playing with me. Oscar Mbo, about a few months ago, at least it reads here 6 weeks ago, Oscar Mbo posted on his social media account talking about South Africa for South Africans. Kwanele, enough, he said. If foreigners want to be here, may it be through the right channels and mediums. That's a belief. As a person who travels a lot, the level of frustration one gets when its visa applications time is unmeasurable. Other countries put strict measures to govern their countries for their own people. Why shouldn't we as South Africa do the exact same thing? Oscar Mbo shares the same sentiment as AKA, as he continues to say that one info that a lot of people wouldn't know is that it takes 7 to 8 hours to enter Lagos. I wouldn't know, never been to Lagos. You'll feel what I'm saying. He goes on to say that, or more, if you don't have a connection to enter the country. Close bracket, he goes on to say that due to their visa system and strict security control, if not done right, they deport you back to your country immediately. No reason why South Africa should house the whole world with no measures. No. Oscar Mbo is saying this cannot be the case in the country because all other countries enforce the laws and the border laws according to how everything is supposed to be run in that particular country. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you think that AKA's tweets from 2022 together with tweets or the statements that Oscar Mbo posted on his social media accounts, do you think these 2 artists were xenophobic? And what do you guys think about all the other celebrities who seem to be very, very quiet about the current situation in the country? What do you guys think about all of that? You don't hear what I'm saying? Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. My name is Brian Sivana. What up, Cedric? Cedric never misses a stream. I miss Cedric heavy. I'll read your comments shortly, Sid. Let me quickly get on with the stream. Now, on the next topic that we'll talk about is artists that seem to not really be affected, Cedric, by the current situation here in South Africa. The likes of Brotherkupa, the likes of Jaykatana. You guys might not know who I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the next wave or the next generation of artists. But before we get to that video or that commentary, let's quickly discuss Scott's Maphuma situation there in Uganda, because earlier this year, or I think as soon as even less than a month ago, Scott Maphuma was scheduled to perform there in
Scott
Uganda.
Was set to perform in thingy. Scott was set to,
and there was problems.
Perform in Uganda, right? And he didn't pitch, and then they got mad at
He didn't pitch.
He didn't go, and then they got mad at his manager. They were asking for a refund. But I saw Cowboy is one of the artists rather that pitched. Cowboy performed there, right? And he said he's no longer going to go to Uganda because of what happened with Scott.
They
right?
reversed Cowboy.
So now, on his Instagram story, he said that no artist shall perform without the full amount being paid. Y'all wanted to take advantage of what's happening in South Africa via xenophobic attacks and not pay me after performance. Now you want to look innocent to your people because you know you breached the contract saying you guys must pay the full amount 7 days prior to the event. I have nothing against the country itself, but the organizers of the country, you can blame me. It's fine because it's always the artist's fault for the dishonesty of the organizers. To my fellow Ugandan fans, blame your promoters, not me.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Listen.
Money, bro. No. We gave you an extra money, bro. We gave you extra money. We just need the money. We gave you extra money. We paid for 3 artists. We just need the money. I'm so sorry. No, we want the money. You just got to refund. We just need accountability for.
So one artist was able to show up in Uganda to go perform. However, the main artist that they wanted to be at the gig did not show up. And according to Scott Maphuma, he did not go to that Ugandan gig simply because he did not get paid his asking fee. Right? He was expecting to get paid the full amount before traveling all the way to Uganda to go perform. But one of the artists who was also booked, who's also being managed by Scott Maphuma's manager, Cowboy, he was able to go and perform there. So, according to Scott Maphuma's manager, he was saying that we are not going to refund you guys the whole amount. Why? Because Cowboy performed. Yeah, you guys wanted Scott's. You can subtract Scott's fee, but we're not giving you back Cowboy's fee because he already performed. Now, the crowd was bugging. The crowd was losing it, saying, we want Scott Maphuma, So there are artists who are not affected by the current situation in South Africa. But this was close to a month ago, so we don't know now, because now a big artist was able to get the attention of a minister, the justice minister, to tell her that, say, my gigs are getting cancelled all over Africa. Please fix the issues that are being raised here in the country. Unfortunately, it's not up to the minister to fix these issues, because it's only now that they're scrambling, because the ANC government was waiting for the country to burn, and it's not even burning yet. They were just waiting for the country to get hot and rattled up. That's when they start acting. Imagine how ridiculous is our current government. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian Sivana. If you're new here, you know exactly what to do. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, ring notification bell so you're notified when I go live again, since you are late. Shout out to Cedric for always making it on time, because he clicked the ring notification bell. You would have heard what I'm saying. Who else isn't getting affected by the current situation in the country? Well, I think on the 6th of June, just a couple of days ago, an artist by the name of Jaykatana was able to perform in Zambia. So let's quickly have a look at the clip of Jaykatana performing in Zambia. Tell me why. walk away. Hey, copyright strike. I'm so caught up in my life. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So I guess it does not affect all artists. You feel what I'm saying? But now, if you look at the relationship between Zambia and South Africa, there's not really much animosity going on between this country and us. You feel what I'm saying? However, it is a different story when you talk about the likes of the Zimbabwe's, you know what I'm saying, the Mozambiques of the world. When you talk about the likes of Blood Clot, the Nigerians, Ghanas of the world, I guess our artists are gonna have problems when it comes to performing in such countries. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason why artists do not want to talk about xenophobia is because it does put them in a position where they have to pick a side. It's either you pick the South African side or you pick the foreign national side. So these artists would rather refrain from talking about xenophobia so they can always have good relations with our countries outside of South Africa and abroad, globally, internationally, worldwide. You would have what I'm saying. Another artist that seems to not have many issues with getting gigs African countries is the likes of Jaykatana. You might be wondering who the rest is that. Well, Jaykatana is also an underground artist. And he was able to get a gig in Botswana. This was last year. Late last year or 6 months ago.
I'm gonna reverse start for real.
Right? That's Jaykatana performing in Botswana again. South Africa and Botswana have very, very, good relations. South Africans are not complaining about the Botswana folk. South Africans are not complaining about the folks from Zambia. You feel what I'm saying? They're not complaining about the people from Blood Clot, neighboring countries such as Lesotho. Well, they are complaints about Lesotho, but we seem to have a relationship with the Lesotho folk. We seem to have a relationship with the Swaziland folk. You know what I'm saying? Even though Swaziland is right next to Mozambique, South Africa happens to have a problem with the Mozambicans because of the obvious things that we always talk about here in the channel. And you're not subscribed, and that's how I know that you don't know what I'm talking about. Subscribe to the channel and come back. Stop playing with me. You would have feel what I'm saying. And yeah, I guess we're going to leave it at that, chat. But before we leave, we're going to quickly have what the chat is saying. Shout out to Cedric. What up, Cedric? So Cedric is saying, yo, Brian, sup? These things are sadly the beginning. The US, UK, Australia, China, you're talking about some very developed countries. These countries have given higher travel advisories to South Africa because of this. Brother, these things are affecting all types of artists globally. You feel what I'm saying? If the 30th of June happens, wait until September and you will hear what the artist will be saying. But that's the thing, Cedric. I feel like South Africans could care less about what these celebrities be saying, because now you're talking about a very small minority of South Africans. When you're talking about artists, you're talking about a small minority shop. The same artists that you're talking about, Cedric, do provide jobs for a lot of South Africans. They do provide salaries for feeding a lot of South African families. We get that, it's fine. But like saying, what about the whole entire country? Because the majority of the country is affected. I mean, just recently, if not just this past month, there's been stats that have been brought out. I would love to have shown you guys these stats that have been dished out on the internet via Stats SA, talking about the unemployment rate increasing here in South Africa. So on the ground level, a large majority of South Africans could care less about a small minority literally losing out on a couple of gigs, because mind you, they can still be able to tour in South Africa. They can still get bookings here in the country. They can still get bookings in countries that have good relations with South Africa, such as the Botswanas, the Zambias, the Swazilands of the world. You know what I'm saying? So yes, this artist that the minister is talking about might be affected, but she can still tour the rest of the world and the rest of Africa. Sharpo, she might not be touring out of 100 gigs, she might lose, I don't know, maybe 50 of them, but at least she's getting booked. You know what I'm saying? as opposed to artists or smaller artists. You know what I mean? So it's not all too bad for everybody. Great point that you made as well, Cedric, talking about it's getting bad now. What's gonna happen in September? What's gonna happen from then on after the 30th of June? I don't know, man. One thing I'll tell you is that it's gonna take a very long time for, I'm 100% sure other countries are already planning on isolating South Africa or putting sanctions on South Africa. So this will not only affect our artists, it will affect all kinds of industries. You do feel what I'm saying? But now, South Africa was already in bad waters with some countries because a lot of people that were caught in other countries such as Thailand, they happened to have been possessing or be in possession of South African passports. But when you actually look at these videos and you listen to the accents of the people who are being accused of drug trafficking in those countries, you'll hear that these people don't have South African accents. They have other national Africans accents. Yeah, it just proves that our Home Affairs Department has been corrupt and dishing out these permits or travel permits or passports, selling them. It's been exposed already by the SIU that a lot of South African documents have been sold by these bloodshot corrupt Home Affairs officials. So it's say a lot of countries have South African passports on their red list or blacklist, I suppose, to say that say if you see a South African passport, please pause that person there at the airport. We need to talk to them. We need to interrogate them. So yeah, things are already bad for South Africa, and some of these things weren't even caused by South Africans themselves. Can you believe that, Cedric? Can you believe that, my guy? Again, thank you guys for joining this live stream. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that South Africans care about these artists that are complaining about their gigs being cancelled? Do you think South Africans care about the current situation of South Africa being sanctioned by some countries, or in future are going to get sanctions by these countries? Do you think South Africans care about these issues that are being faced in the country? Do you think our current government cares about the bare requests of the average South African? Do you think they care? I don't think so. So I don't think the South Africans will care about these artist bookings getting cancelled. Comment down below your thoughts. Appreciate you guys for joining the stream. Cedric, I'll catch you on the next